Hello, dolls. It is now Wednesday, and you have gone through making a resume and you have gone through applying with that resume, and you made your call list. On Monday, you made a resume. Tuesday, you made a call list. Wednesday, you're actually going to call the numbers on that list. I know some people are afraid of asking for an interview. I know that some people have a hard time talking on the phone. But here's the thing, some of those places you applied to, the opening, the position that you applied to online is no longer open. So if you call and you ask about these positions that you've already applied to, you save yourself the time and trouble of just leaving it hanging, right? You make it to where the first day you put it out there, the second day you apply to some deeper stuff. You've been applying for the last 2 days, but you've made a list of all the places you've applied to with the business name, the location, the position that you applied for, and the phone number. That way, say you have like apply to two different places, like Walmart 1, Walmart 2, those different phone numbers, those different positions, and those different locations are going to help you keep track of it on your little cheat sheet. So, like I said, this is a whole series. Watch Monday, then Tuesday, then Wednesday. Wednesday, you're using your call list that you already made. So, with your call list, you put the jobs that you were most interested in towards the top and least interested in towards the bottom, saving you the risk of getting one of the ones you actually don't want or doesn't meet your needs. However, you've got your call list. You're going to start calling. Okay, the reason for the call list is this also. It doesn't mean somebody's already seen you. This is just good practice. Hold on one second, please. All right, sorry, I also have kids, so that is one of the obstacles. Part of making the resume was putting together certain pieces of your specific life, your specific needs, part of these application processes. Now, there is an important thing to know about application processes and this callback list. So the callback list needs to be done at a specific time of day, during specific days of the week. These are important little tips. Monday is not a good day for calls or for hiring specifically. Friday is also not a good day for hiring or calls because Monday, they're not ready to be there, and Friday, they don't remember that you called. They're not going to be there on the weekend. So, you want to try to, your best chances of getting an interview or talking to a hiring manager are Tuesday through Thursday, and the specific hours would be, say, about 8:30 a.m. to about 11:30 a.m. 6 and 7 are too early. The manager just got there and they're starting up their paperwork and their computers and they're checking on their stuff. So they haven't looked yet. By 8:30, they're getting ready to, do hiring stuff, make phone calls, stuff like that. Let them get settled in, then make your phone call. By 11:30, if you haven't made that phone call, you're going to want to park it for about an hour, hour and a half because they're going to lunch, guaranteed. Then, if you skip the 11:30 or you go from about 12 to 1:30 and you wait, and then you call to talk to the hiring manager. You then only have a couple of hours before they're out the door and they forget that you even called. You call after 11:30 in the morning, your chances of missing that manager are about 30% right at 12. Most of them are at lunch. Your chances of them forgetting that you even called at all are 80% after lunch because they don't remember. After lunch, they had a bunch going on and they were just ready to go home and tomorrow will be tomorrow. So you shortchange yourself and you lessen the odds quite a bit when you call on Monday or you call on Friday. That's why on Monday and Tuesday you're doing the resume building and applying. You can start calling on Tuesday if you want, but that's when you make your call list also. So then Wednesday, you start communications. Wednesday is also the key day for communication, right in the middle of the week. Best time for communication. I was going to do these videos today, and instead my phone was out, so I had to do a whole lot of back and forth and networking and other work to take care of my phone and then come back and then tell you guys how to do this. There's always obstacles, that's the point. There's certain things you'll have to work around, and there's certain times a day you'll have to work around, and certain people you'll have to work around. So just be comfortable with knowing that you're going to have to adjust and be patient. And it can be a little time consuming. So when you place your calls, try to get them in the morning time before lunch. Preferably between Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Those are the best times, best likelihood for them to say, yeah, why don't you come on in by, Friday? Then you'll get your interview by then. Most of the time when you call a business, like say, I don't care what the business is, you call and you ask if you can speak to the hiring manager. They do not say, can I talk to your manager, because that sounds like you're trying to get someone in trouble. But if you call and you're asking about a position that you've applied to, the best thing to say is, hello, this is so and so. I was wondering if I can speak to the hiring manager, or if your hiring manager was in, and you'll get one of two responses. They're not here right now. Can I take a message? Leave your name and phone number. Or, yeah, hold on, I'll go get them. And then if they get the hiring manager, all you have to say is, yes, I saw there was a position open for such and such on such and such. Such as I saw there was a position open for hostess on Indeed. Is that position still available? And then you'll get your answer right then of whether or not they're still hiring for that at all. They may say, no, I'm sorry, the position's already been filled, or we've already closed that. And then you know to mark it out on your call list. That's not even a viable job. It's just a placeholder now. So you go through the entire list checking each one of them. And you mark each one of them. You just go down the list. You don't go for your favorites. You just make yourself start with the first one. Whichever one is your first one, you call and you start that process. And if they say, I'm sorry, the position is closed, you just literally draw a circle and a line through it. No, or strike it out. Then say they're like, yeah, can I take your information? Next to, can I take your information? You write down callback. Write down CB. Like they'll call you back or you'll call them back, either or. Make sure you write down callback. Then, if you should get lucky enough that one of the ones you call are like, yes, let's do an interview for blank, or yes, we'll send you an email for, so you want to make sure to write that down. Yes, we have an interview for you. Write down the interview time and date. Or check your email, we'll send you a link to it, because a lot of times that's what they do now. They outsource the hiring process. So actually, even though they're saying yes, you'll have to go to a whole other thing and get your instructions there and possibly an orientation there, and it works a little different than it used to. But by marking individually what each response was on your call list, you go through the entire thing, all 15 to 20 calls, because when you put in your applications, quick applies, internal applications, external applications. Internal means like, say you're going to work for Walmart. You go on the Walmart website and do the career tabs and then apply to Walmart directly. That would be internal applicant. Versus using Indeed to apply to Walmart, and that would make you an external applicant. Either way, that part, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that when you're calling the numbers on your list, that you make a list of about 10 to 15 numbers to call, 10 to 15 jobs you've applied to that meet your criteria. Once you call and get that answer, position available, position not available, we'll call you back, we'll email you instructions. You leave that on your list. You don't have to do anything else after that. You are done with your Wednesday plans. Because Wednesday, the ask for the interview, ask for the interview. If you sit and passively wait, nothing is going to happen. You have to make a plan, stick to the plan, always deliver. Monday is make your resume. Tuesday is apply your resume. Wednesday is call back and follow up on those resumes that you've put in. Not to see if they're ready to hire you, but to see if the position is legitimate or not. To see if you're wasting your own time or not. And that's because once you have gone through your list and marked each thing, you are literally just going to repeat the process on Thursday. Thursday is going to be the exact same thing as Tuesday. You're going to get up, you're going to have your morning routine, you're going to take your shower, you're going to wash your face, you're going to brush your teeth, you're going to make it your job to find a job. You're going to be consistent. Monday was the day you started thinking about planning, organizing what you needed. Tuesday was the day that you kind of built a body, you've put in the work. Then Wednesday's the day you get to it. Wednesday's the day you show action. That is the day that you actually speak up, ask for what you need, check and see, get the status on these, on the ones you have applied to, and then give yourself some time. Let's see. Make sure that whenever you put your resumes in and stuff like that, that your things are spelled right, capitalized, punctuated correctly, phone numbers are updated. That's another thing. Businesses sometimes have old phone numbers and you can't contact them that same way, so that's sometimes an issue. Uh, Listen, interviews are not scary. It's a yes or no thing. They're only going to say yes or no. We either have a job or we don't have a job. They're not going to personally insult you. They're not going to call up your old job and see how you interview. They're not going to try to ask a lot of questions. But if you sound confident enough when you ask for an interview, then they know that you are actively looking and not passively just waiting. It shows initiative. It shows that you are a motivated person and that you mean to be at work, not just, well, luck of the draw, they picked me. You know what I'm saying? So, you use your phone voice. Don't be scared. Don't be mousy. By mousy, I mean they could be in a loud background, and when they pick up the phone, they can't hear you because operations are going on around them. And when you're just talking like this, and you're just wondering, they can't hear you. They say, okay, yeah, all right. Or when you are in too loud of an environment, they're in a quiet office, they can hear you just fine, but there's noise all around you, drowning you out. You want to try to think about where you're at, where they might be at when you call for these interviews. That's why I say think about time of day, think about the type of job you're looking for. Even if it's going to be third shift, that hiring manager's there in the morning. The only time you are going to do well calling after the lunchtime hour, after the 5 o'clock hour, is to get second shift. And second shift is pretty much exclusively for people who do not have kids. Young folks, single folks, perfect for second shift. Everyone with kids, not so much. They got to run home after school. They need to put kids to bed. All the chores are during those hours. So it's not parent friendly, I'll tell you that. However, if you're trying to get a second shift job and you have to call during second shift to get a manager, there's not really anything wrong with that. It's just if you're a first shift person calling during second shift, they don't take you seriously. They don't think that you really want it. They unfortunately perceive you as a slacker, like someone who will come in late, someone who doesn't really care. You're just have to do it. So friends, that's all I have for you on this one. This one's short and sweet. The other two are 30-minute chunks because they have a lot of details. Well, like I said, Wednesday's our short day. Monday's the day you try to get your job history all straightened up. Tuesday's the day that you present yourself in an orderly fashion. And Wednesday is the day that you get out there, that you actually cast that net right into the water and you start checking your traps. You start going back and pulling your lines and seeing what you got. And then tomorrow you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to go back and you're going to apply to literally 10 more jobs at least, and take down those phone numbers to create your call list for Friday. So it's making a habit out of it now. It's literally making a job out of looking for a job. You are going to work every day. You have to work on it. You have to try to stay motivated. You have to not get defeated. And it's hard when you take phone calls that are like, but don't give up. Keep trying and call back. I love you all. I'll be back with Thursdays tomorrow.